Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the live stream match today, brought to you by the Auckland Rugby League. Fabulous day down here today as we get ready now for the match of today, and we're at the home of the Otahuhu Leopards as we get ready now to see that match against the Howick Hornets. Both teams are coming off a really strong performance in the first part of the 2019 season. Howick's around about third place on the ladder at the moment, so we're going to see one of the top teams in action today. Coming up against Otahuhu, who are sitting at 5 and only due to aggregate. And so, as I said, going to be a really, really strong match. And for all the rugby league fans out there, I think you're in for a big treat today. Joining us fairly shortly will be Corey Rosser, who will be doing the main call today. And Corey will be interviewing the two coaches, so we'll get a wee bit of insight to how the teams are tracking and what the vibe's like inside the units as we get ready for that. Now, don't go too far away. We're going to have the chairman of the club here, Bruce Shaw, joining me very, very shortly. And as I said, we'll catch up also with what's happening around the club as well. So looking forward to having you back. Welcome to the ARL TV. My name's Troy Hardy. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have the chairman of the club here, Bruce Shaw. Bruce, good to see you.
Thank you, Troy.
The park's looking fabulous down here, mate, and you know, a little bit of work being done.
Yep.
So now look, always a pleasure to be hosted by the Otahuhu Leopards. You know, great strong history here of players coming through.
For sure.
The performance of the club so far, you know, you're happy with where the boys are sitting on the ladder?
Yeah, the boys, they actually reserves they're getting their backside tanned right now, which is okay. But our Premier side are going very well. They've had 4 wins in a row.
Yep.
And today's will be a strong game against Howick. We're just counting the ex-Otahuhu boys playing for Howick now, which is okay too. But even in the Premier first team, but it's good to see them still running hard.
Absolutely. Look, now I was pretty fortunate. I caught up with you against one of the big scalps that you've taken this season against Point Chevalier Pirates, and you know, you was a little bit apprehension that day when I saw you, but you must have been happy with that result.
Yeah, well, they started, I think it was 12-10 at half time, and our guys turned it around and just performed like we know they can do it. And they won 44-10, which was really good. And that's really turned. Our guys could always do it, but it's just a matter of getting their attitude right and putting their heads in the right space.
So, in regards to the club, you know, we talk about this all the time, the importance of the support that you get from volunteers, but not just that, sponsors. So let's give a bit of love to your sponsors. Yeah,
well, our main sponsors, there's 2 main sponsors. Roof Care is one of our main sponsors. The other one is Mint Auckland. They do air conditioning and heat pumps and that sort of thing. And then DG Sports, who provides our clothes and that sort of stuff. Then Otahuhu Pool and Leisure with our fitness and use of their pool and that sort of thing.
Yep.
We've got 2 smaller sponsors. Cool As Ice is one of our sponsors, and MG Marketing. They supply us a box of bananas every week, which is really good for our guys.
Excellent, mate. Well, on behalf of you know, all the sponsors that support the Otahuhu Rugby League, we love you for that, and really important to have you. And just on that, the importance of live streaming. How you know? Let's hear your views about that as the chairman of the Otahuhu Club.
Oh, hi. It's easy accessed, and it's easy for people to get onto, and I think it's very important. You've got to keep the game. The rugby league is a very attractive game to watch. In my opinion, much easier to watch than rugby. But it's just how it is, and the live streaming is much easier to get onto than any other way.
Yep, absolutely. Look, and in regards to other activities happening around the club, is there anything else that you'd like to touch on?
Well, we've got the Samoans versus the Tongans, I think it is, in another few weeks on a Saturday here.
Yep, so I think just on that, Auckland's going to be playing the Samoan men's, Okalani, and the under-18 men's will be the Tongan team up against the Auckland side as well. Good, so it's good. You're expecting a big crowd down here for that?
I think so, yeah. We've got a big Tongan group in Otahuhu. It's almost Little Tonga. And that's okay too, and you know, we enjoy them at our club.
Yeah. No, well, look, there was one other thing I wanted to ask about, and that is, you know, the Otahuhu club's a big venue, And I understand, you've got a 21st on here later on tonight. Just in regards to hireage and availability, you've done weddings, you've done all those sort of things. How will we go about booking the venue if we needed to, have an excellent venue to be able to have a celebration?
You just ring 2767493, speak to Pauline Dumper in normal work hours.
Yep.
We've got upstairs lounge, which at a guest would take about 150 people,
Wow.
I think, and downstairs 300 plus. And we've got miles of playing gear here. There's different people who get the ground and the buildings for different stuff, but we're just available at any time.
Okay, cool. And also you can find them on the website as well, and to get to that link you can get through to aucklandleague.co.nz and find the Otahuhu click-through button there, and a lot of the detail in regards to what Bruce has touched on you'll find on that website. Look, I know you're really busy, mate, and on behalf of the ARL, thanks very much for hosting us today. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go too far away. This is going to be an amazing game of rugby league today as we wait now for Corey Rosser to join us and to interview the coaches here today.
Okay, now joined by Sean Clark, head coach of the Howick Hornets. Well, Sean, coming into this one on a 4-game winning streak, how do you assess the start to the season for your men?
Yeah, we've been travelling along nicely. Had a couple of tough games the last couple of weeks, but yeah, like you said, 4 winning streak, but it's a new game today and we'll take it from there.
An interesting result last week against Point Chevalier. I understand you were fairly comfortable for most of that match, but then a bit of a scare at the end there. Talk us through it.
78 minutes probably we were in it for 22-8 or 24-8, and a couple of, if you want to call it, consolation tries, but definitely pleased with the way we played, and if we look at it in the way, probably let our standards down in the last 3 minutes.
Okay. A big out for you guys today, Tony Tuia, who is actually running the flag in the reserve game behind us. What's the prognosis on Tony's injury?
Tony's got a couple of niggles, like we said, a couple of big games in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He's definitely our forward leader, but I'm confident in the squad we've got today. Tony's got a back and shoulder injury, and I think his right shoulder must be all right because he's putting the flag up nicely.
Yes, indeed, doing a very good job helping out our match officials as you hear the siren going in the background for the reserve game. Now, with Tony's absence and a couple of others, young Hurricane Roberts gets a debut today, his first game in the Fox. What can you tell us about him, Sean?
Yeah, Hurricane out of Manurua High School. Definitely a up-and-coming player. He'll probably come on in the centres if he does come on. Good prodigy from Fergie Edges' dad. Good old Mangere East boy. So, definitely looking to have Hurricane have a big game today if he comes on. When
you look at what your team's done so far this year, what's pleasing you most right now, Sean?
We're actually staying in the grind. We're not taking the easy road. We're actually taking it to the forward packs. We've got a couple of incoming players this year that have stiffened up our forward pack, but also Carlos Hortini coming into our team's definitely guiding us around the park nicely with Peter Olividi also at the back. So a couple of good additions to the team from last year.
Coming up against the Otahuhu side here, young once again this year, but they're on a 4-game streak themselves. What are you expecting from the Leopards today?
Yeah, very physical, I'd say. I'd say their forward pack will be their strength, but in saying that, I think that's our strength as well, and we'll definitely take it to them, and hopefully we can stay in the grind, and the first man to fall will come out on top.
That's the one. It's usually the way in rugby league. Right, Sean, we're going to let you get back to warming the team up. Thank you very much for joining us, and all the best today.
Cheers. Thanks, Auckland Rugby League.
Cool. So a very short break before we bring on the coach of the Otahuhu Leopards. Okay, we're now joined by Tusa from the Otahuhu Leopards, assistant coach, along with George Carmont. Well, you come into this one in hot form, mate. What have you liked about your team over the last 4 weeks?
Yeah, we're coming into our fourth. We've won 4 wins in a row, and Otahuhu hasn't done that in many years. So it's been really good with how the guys are progressing and building in the last 4 games. But we've still got a lot to improve on, and we've still got to complete our sets, and our tackle technique still needs to improve.
Obviously, a lot of momentum generated over the last couple of years under John Ackland. How pleasing is it to see that momentum continue, and you haven't seemed to lose a lot?
Yeah, that momentum in the last 2 years for Mac has slowly built the core of this team.
Yep.
But what makes our club unique is the generations of fathers and sons that are in this club. So we've got 3 generations of players that are playing now that their father or their mother has played for the club. So I think that's one unique thing about our club is it's a family club.
A very good forward effort so far from a lot of your boys, in particular Richard Halani, who I understand is also topping the try-scoring charts right now. Talk us through how he's been playing so far this year.
He's leading Connor and the other forwards know about his try, his scoring his tries. But Richard's a very good player, and I also I'm a league coach in the Warriors, and I've been mentioning Richard's name around the club. He's in top form. He's playing really well, and you mentioned his not only he scores tries, but he does a lot of minutes on the field, and he's not afraid to put his hand up.
And a really good leadership as well from young Connor Toto Purcell. You lose Geronimo Doyle today, but how nice to see these young guys really stepping up and taking on that leadership role. Yeah,
as you mentioned, Connor, he seems to, his mana in the club, and he leads by example, and all the young guys follow his lead. And as you mentioned with the loss of Geronimo, but it opened up a door for one of our young players who plays in the 20s, makes his debut today, William Whakatau-Mafi. So it's just, what you said about young talent coming through. So William gets his debut today.
Come up against the Howick Hornets team who are in very good form themselves. What do you need to do well to get the result today?
Just every week, and George, and we keep talking to the guys about our key points about kicking deep, our tackle technique, and also complete our sets. And completion is a big thing in our game, and you can see how games turn and momentum is turned against you when you don't complete your sets and you make errors.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to let you go and finish warming the team up. We're going to throw out to the field where the Leopards and Hornets are warming up. But on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, all the best for today.
Thank you very much, Auckland Rugby League. Thank you.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Rosser joined in commentary, as always, by Troy Hardy, who will be with me in just a couple of minutes' time. As you can see on screen there, the Howick Hornets warming up for this one up against the Otahuhu Leopards, live from Bert Henham Park in South Auckland. A lovely day for footy. The field is in immaculate condition, and that is a real credit to the council staff and the club, who have done a really good job here. They were down here with the leaf blowers this morning as well, just ensuring that this pitch was nice and clear for this one. A nice crowd building in here as well. Of course, always very well supported. We're in Rugby League Heartland here in Otahuhu. So we're going to start with a little look at some of the other competitions, results from last week, and what to expect this week. And we'll start with the Crown Lift Trucks Fox Championship, which has proven such a good competition so far. And the round 8 results for that one, the Manukau Magpies getting up for a big victory, 44-28 over the Otara Scorpions. It puts Manukau right in the frame for a top 4 spot as we approach the final few weeks in that competition. Te Aratu did it easy, 78-0 over Papatoetoe. And Pukekohe got up 34-32 with a last-minute try over the Waitemata Seagulls. So now I'm going to welcome in Troy Hardy, who is my resident Pukekohe man and knows a little bit about that team. But Troy, after back-to-back losses for Jody Henry's side, that's a big victory for Pukekohe.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they're still on the hunt. They're in the right part of the ladder where they need to be. And, you know, I don't think they'll be under too much pressure. They'll be a little bit disappointed, but they're still on the hunt and they're in it big time.
The Newland Sags 26-22 over the Mount Wellington Warriors. Good win there for Matt Carden's side. Hibiscus Coast 40-10 over the Pakuranga Jaguars. The Raiders really do look the real deal this year. They're inside that top 4 right now and have got a number of their hard games out of the way. And the other one, the Ellerslie Eagles 60 over the Ponsonby Ponies 12. And Troy, it does start to feel like in this competition, perhaps the cream is starting to rise to the top. Is that the feeling you get as well?
Absolutely. And you only have to look at some of the class that's in those top teams, you know. Probably a couple of them got off to a little bit of a shaky start. You know, I keep going back to the draw for Ellerslie, and I can't remember who that was against. You know, those 1-point splits may come back to haunt them, but, you know, as we've said right from the start of the season, due to the new format, every game counts, and, you know, they don't get a second bite at the cherry. So you need to be up the top end to get through to play for the, you know, the championship, especially in that comp.
A quick look at the games that are on today. We've got Ellerslie against Papatoetoe at the Ellerslie Domain. Te Aratu at home to Pakuranga. Manukau versus Newland at Moyle Park. Waitemata versus Ponsonby at Ranui Domain. The Hibiscus Coast Raiders are at home to the Otara Scorpions. That should be a good game. And the Mount Wellington Warriors take on the Northern Brothers. Now we're going to pull up the ladder for the Crown Lift Trucks Fox Championship qualifiers. And as you can see at the top, it is the Te Aratu Roosters on 14 points. Nestled in just behind, it's the Ellerslie Eagles travelling nicely. That 1 point, which they picked up earlier in the season against Manukau from that draw, it's either going to end up proving, I guess, costly or very, very valuable. And just how congested that ladder is right now is anyone's guess. Hibiscus Coast and Pukekohe Pythons on 12 points. Hibiscus edging them right now on 4 and against. And then it's Manukau 1 point back. Otara, Newland, Northern, Pakuranga still in the hunt, and then a little further back, Mount Wellington, Waitemata, and Ponsonby and Papatoetoe sitting at the bottom right now without a victory so far. And Troy, when you look at that ladder, any major surprises from your point of view?
Te Aratu, I think we're always quids in. You know, they were going to be thereabouts. Ellerslie got great roster. Hibiscus Coast, no surprise there. Bluey's looking after them, you know, Brian. And coaching very well. Pukekohe's coming off a stellar season from last year, so no. But the one that does raise an eyebrow is Manukau. And, you know, they've got a great roster of young players that have come through, and expect them to be the dark horse for the season.
Yeah, good call. Now we'll move our attention to the First Division, which we are live streaming today. Results last week, it was our live stream game. The Glenora Bears got up 34 points to 14 over the Bayroscal Vikings. Now, Troy, Bayroscal weren't bad in this game, but that Glenora full-pack, when they get going, it's very hard to control. Yeah,
I think across the park, you know, Glenora, you know, to use your term, are the real deal. They're going to look very, very strong and competitive. In saying that, though, Bayroscal held their own, and I really do like the young boy Vogel at fullback. He's dangerous, mate.
The Otahuhu Leopards, who we will be live streaming today, 44-12 winners over Manareo. And Northcote, a close one over Marist, 17 points to 10. A late field goal to Kolwaka, just putting that one beyond reach for the Marist Saints, who performed admirably up against the undefeated Tigers. The Howick Hornets, 22-10. Sean Clark touched on this one. They were fairly comfortable with about 5 minutes to go, and then consecutive Point Chevalier tries Sort of made it a close thing, one of those tries on the siren. Mount Albert Lions back to winning ways, 32-10 over the Papakura Sea Eagles. And the Richmond Bulldogs, huge victory for them, 30-28 over the Mangere East Hawks. Troy, just a couple of weeks ago, Richmond looked in big trouble, but a couple of valuable victories, and they're now back in the hunt to avoid that bottom four.
Absolutely, and I think they'll take confidence out of that. Richmond are a true and tried, traditional club. They have lots of pride, and they've got lots of good activity down there with their academy. So, Bulldogs are in it for the fight, and they'll go right down to the bitter end.
Okay, games on today in the First Division, other than, of course, our match here at Bert Hennon Park. We've got Northcote taking on the Mangere East Hawks. That should be a good little game there. Richie Blackmore's men trying to get a result against the undefeated Tigers. Mount Albert take on Manyarewa. The Root Roosters on the line in this match. The Glenora Bears up against the Richmond Bulldogs. Marist versus Papakura. That's a huge match for Papakura, who desperately need points right now, languishing near the bottom of the ladder. And then a bit of a local derby. Point Chevalier take on the Bayrascal Vikings. The Pirates as well in need of a couple of positive results. Now we look at the ladder, and at the top it is the Northcote Tigers, a perfect 6 from 6. A fair old effort for the men from the North Shore. They lost Taylor Daniels and Trent Schonkel over the off-season, as well as Xavier Rice, but covering really nicely right now. They're travelling well. A couple of hard games to come up in the next few weeks, which will give us a good indication of where Northcote probably are, Troy.
Yeah, no, you've called that right, mate. Look, in saying that, though, they have been class. They're really well coached. They've got a good selection of well-balanced team, and everything Northcote's doing at the moment is, as I said, is class, and looking forward to them to finish this part of the competition off strongly.
The Mount Albert Lions, well, they have now dropped a game, but still travelling really well in second position. They also hold the Root Rooster Challenge Trophy, nestled in behind on points difference only. It's the Howick Hornets, again, just losing the one game so far. That was against Northcote. The Glenora Bears holding down fourth position right now, ahead of Otahuhu on points for and against. Now, this Leopards team, Troy, sort of just travelled under the radar a little bit there, but to be sitting in this position at this time of the year, I think probably exceeded the expectations of many.
Yeah, and you only have to look at the back end of the draw for Otahuhu. I think that's favourable for them. They've taken Point Chevalier, they've taken Mount Albert, they've got some great scalps under their belt, and I think by all accounts, even with the pre-build-up with the coach that was here, really well drilled side. One thing about Otahuhu, especially in defence, these boys know how to tackle, and they're really strong around their D.
The Marist Saints, they currently occupy 6th position, 2 points clear of this log jam, and it's not one you want to be in. It is for the bottom 4 positions, which would drop out of the First Division. You end up in the Fox Championship. So right now, the Point Chevalier Pirates and Mangere East Hawks, they sit on 4 competition points, but they're clear of that zone on differential. Tied on 4 points, the Bayrascal Vikings and Richmond Bulldogs. 2 back are Papakura, and then sitting on the bottom on 0 points. Well, there's still plenty of time for Manyarewa. They're only 4 points out of the danger zone, but you just get the feeling, Troy, probably a team that just needs a result to get a little bit of confidence.
Absolutely, and every game that they're up against, they're going to find it a tough day in the office, but they've got some personnel there, and I'm pretty sure that they've got a few surprises in them before this round is finished.
So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, a little trip around the grounds, updating you on all the results and what is to come today in those competitions. And do keep an eye on aucklandleague.co.nz. We'll have all the match reports and results at the conclusion of this round, all part of our coverage this year. And of course, you can tune into League Lens on Monday afternoon as well and hear from Savannah about what's been happening around the grounds in rugby league. Of course, we've got a pretty big rep match coming up as well, Troy. Auckland up against Samoa. We've seen the Auckland team, and the Samoan team will be named tomorrow. The Auckland team certainly pretty strong, a few familiar names, and they're really looking forward to this match.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be a fantastic day out, and it's free. It's down here at the home of Otahuhu Leopards. So come down and join us. Queen's Birthday weekend. It's going to be the only rugby league on in town. And like we said earlier in the build-up, Samoa are up against the Auckland side, and that's the main match at 2:30. And the curtain raiser to that is Tongan team playing the Auckland under-18 men. So looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, and I think that curtain raiser will be a really good game as well. Of course, we've been fortunate enough to call some of these boys as they've come through the grades, whether it be through the Region of Origin Series, College Rugby League, or the Grand Finals, which we did last year. And these age grade games, they always tend to be exciting sort of matches, nice open footy, and there's plenty of passion at that age as well. So really looking forward to that one. Keep an eye on aucklandleague.co.nz. We will update you as we go along with that one. All right, we're going to run you through the teams now as we see the Otahuhu Leopards coming out onto the field, led by their captain, Connor Toto Purcell. Now, there is one big out, and that is the loss of the co-captain, Geronimo Doyle. He is out with sickness today, which means his spot is assumed by William Whakataumafi. The wingers are Nuka Nuka and Whariu, Na and Mikaeli in the centres, Rahiri and Paki in the halves, and up front, the try-scoring machine himself, Richard Halani, currently leading the team's try-scoring charts, and understand not letting the rest of the forward pack live it down either. Leonard Patello is the hooker, Toto Purcell the other prop. It's a good starting front row combination. Vaiafisi, Uate and Koya are the back row, and then on the bench, Poto, Tumaloa, Motu Moave and Leafy, and they are coached by George Carmont. Now the Howick Hornets. At the back, the vastly experienced Peter Olivetti. Of course, he's played for Mount Albert and Papakura over the last few years. A really, really good player, can play anywhere in that back line as well. Morris and Albert are the wingers. Foimono and Gillette in the centres. It's a powerful centre combination. We've seen Anthony Foimono do some real damage in live stream games last year as well. Carlos Hutani, who's back in the squad, he's put in a couple of really good performances, made the Kiwi League Central Team of the Week the other week, and has been named in that Auckland team as well. He's partnered by Jordan Papa. The front row is Jones, Pulipaki, and the captain, Jethro Friend. Wilson, Vuiti Bao, and Charlie is the back row, and then it's Lee, Tau, Bishop, and the man on debut, young Hurricane Roberts. And what an occasion to make your Fox debut in Troy. You're on the live stream. You're up against the Otahuhu Leopards, who are really a rival team. Big day for the young fella.
Absolutely. This is where the magic happens.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how the teams will take the field. Our middle referee today is Chris McMillan. We've got the best referee in the country as well. So really looking forward to this. And a shout out to Chris and his achievements over the last few years, of course, on the international stage and in the NRL. He truly is a success story of the Auckland Rugby League Referees Association. And I know we're all certainly very proud of him. And he's really leading that next generation along now, Troy, as well, as we know. We have a fair bit to do with the referees, and even our own Vigo Rasmussen in the office and Rochelle Tamarua. Young people who are really enthusiastic about what they're doing. It's really cool to see them able to achieve those goals on the bigger stage. Yeah,
and I think some of the pathways are opening up for them as well. They're getting opportunities with NRL. And just to echo your thoughts, around Chris, love the guy. He's got a great sense of humour. Really good that he's here today, and this is going to be a fabulous game of rugby league.
All right, so the team's now making their way over. There's one man who won't be taking the field. Big Tony Tuia, certainly one of our favourite players to call. Adds plenty of character to the game, but they're going to really miss his impact today, Troy. He has been playing really well again this year. Even last year, he was one of their better players, so he's a big loss for them.
Absolutely. And look at that big cheesy grin. He's got character, he's got size, he's got the skill of a standoff. And like you rightly said, we're probably going to be very fortunate to see him go round with the Samoan team at Queen's birthday weekend, and it's a shame that we're missing him here today.
All right, so we prepare for kickoff, and it will be the Howick Hornets to get us underway, and they will kick down to the road end here at Bert Henham Park.
You good, Connor? All right, mate? Good. Okay, good luck, fellas. Stay behind. Good luck, Daddy.
Referee McMillan says off we go, and we're into it.
Here we go.
Round 7 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership qualifiers, and it is Toto Purcell who will take the first hit up. Playing really, really good football this year. Been at the club for a number of years, only 22 years of age. Was given the captaincy a couple of seasons ago as a young fella and has really embraced it. Of course, a member of the Kanis Manukau Premier team as well. What an occasion as well for William Whakataumafi, called in late to replace Geronimo Doyle, the Rookie of the Year in the Fox last year. Now they work it up through the middle, and this is Koya. Played over 50 games for the Leopards club. Paki moves one wider to Vaiafisi. And last tackle coming up for the Leopards. Paki it is who gets to his kick. It's across the body and off the side of the foot a little bit. There's plenty of Otahuhu bodies there, and in the end it gets knocked back, and the Howick Hornets on the ball for the first time today. Come into this one with 4 wins behind them, the Hornets, as do the Leopards. And Howick, well, they seem to lose a little bit of quality every year, whether it be to Australia or other clubs, but they just refuse to make excuses. They have brought some quality in this year as well, including this man, Scott Jones. the former Warrior. Spent a fair bit of time over in Western Australia in recent times. Back now and by all accounts enjoying his footy here in Auckland. Reece Charlie it is now to bump this one forward. Takes him into the opposition half. And we've got last tackle coming up. Jethro Friend at dummy half. Swings it out the back and Papa goes high. Taken cleanly at the back, but the chase is good from the Howick Hornets and they put him down to the 10. Well, Troy, we've seen some poor starts in recent live stream games from teams, but really well done by both teams that time. They get to a kick and both teams looking in good shape.
Yeah, good execution and excellence there. And just as we said that, somebody was inside 5 and we see our first penalty for today.
How, mate? All these boys are in front. These boys are in front. Who's the mark here? Line, boys, wait for contact. Royden, hold!
So back into it go the Leopards. Charged with this first carry, it is Vaiafisi.
Here, fellas, here! Hold!
Patillo jumps out of dummy half, brings in Holani.
Move now! Here, 18 to me!
Another penalty. So back-to-back penalties here for the Leopards. And the chance to register first points in this match. A whole lot of possession and good ball coming up here for Otahuhu, and they'll get straight back into it via Koya.
Stand up! Come here, Nick. Come here, mate. Here. Hold, mate. Hold. Hold! Go.
Patillo to Toto Purcell, who shuffles off to his left back rower. Uate play on as the call, and Connor looks up and says, I'll have a go. Gets rid of Friend and then is taken down by the second attempt from the Howick Hornets. 10 out from the line now. Uate it is, down the left. He'll go close to the line, gets put on his back. Real test here for the Howick Hornets early. Paki holds up, it's messy, and Whakatau Mafi now puts on a little bit of footwork. He'll go close as well. He got over the line at one point there, but wrestled backwards just in time. Patillo is the dummy half. He will go out to his left, and it's a little dance from Rahiri. Taking the ground, 10 out from the line. Last tackle coming up. Paki on the ball. Kicks across, and a tester at the back here for Albrecht, who goes up and takes it nicely, and they'll go back out to the 20 here. So well done from the Howick Hornets. Well, the first real test under a high ball today, Troy, and Jesse does well. It's probably not an ideal day for the high ball. There's not much sun around, and also nice dry conditions. You do expect that we'll probably see more kicks along the ground as this game goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, mate. And there'll be real importance around making sure that the kicks are good, you know, especially at the completion of this set.
Jones takes them forward and up over halfway. Jethro Friend now. As they break down the left-hand side, Wilson hands off. They've got space out here on the left edge. Come back and field to Albrecht. Albrecht now, he's got open space. He's going to go over here. Jesse Albrecht, no, he's not. It's short. Papa jumps up, swings the ball out the back. Still there, and they're going to get their first try. There it is, Peter Olivetti. Crashes over, they point to the spot. And the Howick Hornets, they strike first. Peter Olivetti. You could see here, Albrecht went very close, and then Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, if you are having a little bit of disruption to our coverage as Jordan Papa steps in and pushes this one away to the left, so it is 4-0 to the Howick Hornets. But apologies if there has been a disruption to the view, and we're just having some power issues down here at Bert Henham Park. We'll look to get those fixed over the next couple of minutes, but in the meantime it is the Hornets who lead 4-0. Peter Olivetti getting over the line for that try.
All good?
Stay behind. Where you go, mate?
So back to it we go. Whakato Malfi, the man to kick it, and it'll be Scott Jones to bring this ball back.
Connor, stand now. Here, mate. Come here, Connor. Hold, go.
Friend is the dummy half. He'll come back into the middle of the park and is met by Koya.
Come here, 7 all the way.
Good contact.
Hold, mate, hold. Go, 2.
Charlie. It's hard, but
Wait. Go.
solid defense that time from Vaiafisi. Papa turns back to the inside. Here's Nick Wilson. His first run of the game.
Testing.
Friend gets the offload away. A little bit of second phase to Wilson, who will be taken down around halfway.
So just testing this mic. Sorry, Corey, as the call is on.
I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen, just having some technical difficulties in the background. We will address those as the game continues. That is picked up by Ethan Fariu. He takes it back to about 10 minutes out from the line.
Corey's going to test the other one now. As Otahuhu start grinding it out from inside their 20. Corey back online.
Don't go in, wait, go 3.
Patillo shuffles it back to the middle where Mikaeli lines up for a carry. He's been in great form, has Emiliano Mikaeli. Playing really, really good footy as Patillo now jumps out. Thought he might have caught the marker not square. It's not the case, and we've got a forward pass and the lead up to that one as well. So the Howick Hornets now to get another set down at this end of the field, and we'll get our scoreboard updated for you as well following that Peter Olivetti try.
Well, that was an amazing 9 minutes, Corey. No power, no mics, no lights. However, the boys from CTAS, our live stream partners, managed to solve everything on the hop, and a big thanks to Craig Gray out back.
We've had a bit of a run of it the last few weeks, a couple of injuries which have caused us some issues with the live stream as well, but hopefully it'll be smooth sailing from here. We get back into it as Charlie receives from the back of the scrum, and they go straight up the middle. That's a really good carry from Fuimono. They're 35 out from the line now of the Hornets. Vuiti Bao says, I'll have a carry. He takes it and goes up towards the 20. Taken down by Uate. Scott Jones goes straight and hard. And they're now only 15 out. Jethro Friend appealing for the penalty. Vuiti Bao shuffles play on. Fuimono hanging on the shoulder of Olivetti, who's got eyes on an early double. Vuiti Bao straight out of dummy half. Too easy. Johnny Vuiti Bao scoops it up from dummy half, crashes over, and the Howick Hornets double their lead.
And let's have a look at the SAS Fox Memorial replay. As you can see there, muscling up. Got a couple of men on. Showing a little bit of strength there. Looking for a quick play the ball here. Had a bit of a look at the referee for an appeal. Gets to play the ball away. Quick skip out of the dummy half. Finds a little hole to burrow in there, and Hornets find 4 points on the board again. Big thank you to SAS Sporting Apparel, major sponsors for the SAS Fox Memorial.
A bit of drama in background. Jethro Friend has left the field. The captain is off. And it looked like he was looking at the finger there, or the hand, so that is not good news for the Howick Hornets. Trent Bishop on. He will assume those dummy half duties. He is more than capable, of course, in that role, but a big loss if Jethro Friend is to miss the remainder of this game. In the meantime, Papa, with this conversion, probably a slightly more difficult angle than his earlier attempt. hits it, and it's away. So it remains Howick Hornets 8, Otahuhu Leopards 0. 12 minutes gone here in round 7 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership qualifiers.
As the Otahuhu Leopards come back now, ready for the reset. Can't help but think, head coach for Howick Hornets, the game plan's working well at this point.
Yeah, hard to argue with. Taking both the opportunities they have been presented with and travelling nicely right now. Now a bouncing difficult ball, which Scott Jones brings under control in the end. Bishop, fresh on the park. He gets his first touch and then brings in the try scorer of Witi Bell. Jethro Friend getting some attention from the physio in back play. Well, on the sideline, I should say, has been substituted. And a penalty there as well for Reece Charlie. So it's going from bad to worse right now for the Leopards.
Not a bad kick, finds touch.
On the 20, guys. First mark, give his play,
So Carlos Hotini gets us back, and it's Scott Jones charged with the first carry. Bishop to Charlie. It's dangerous when he runs the ball.
Hold here, buddy. Wait. Go.
Jones again. Thought about the offload. Held on to it this time. 10 out from the line. Bishop looks one way, goes the other, and then hands back to the middle, and it's big Puli Paki.
Okay, Sean, get up now. Connor, 1 foot. Wait. Go.
Bishop to Papa. Got Wilson on his shoulder. Won't need him. Beautiful cutout pass. All Brett puts the step on.
great
But what
D.
about the defense? Well, Otahuhu just show up out of nowhere. They get numbers there. It looked for all money that it was going to be a try on the left, but the Leopards get there. Desperate stuff from the home team, and they save a try.
Yeah, great scramble by the Otahuhu Leopards there, and young Jethro Friend out here still getting those fingers checked.
Yeah, and if you are wondering what we're talking about, Jethro is getting some attention just in front of us here, and we'll get Troy to possibly bring us an update on how that's looking at the end of it as I go back into the play-by-play. Penalty for the Leopards as well. Kick for touch off the boot of Paki. So 5 short of halfway. Patillo jumps out and brings in the fresh legs in the shape of Bailey Poto. Quick play the ball as well. Patillo's out and he's got a little bit of open space. Wilson holds on down low and they take him down. 30 out from the line. Total Purcell now lines one up. He takes it another 10. They're looking good here, the Leopards. 8-0 down early. Paki goes to the line, steps, and he's not going to get through that one. Puli Paki involved in the tackle. 10 out from the line now. Patillo to Whakatau Murphy, who kicks in behind a little bit too deep, and that one goes dead. Now, back with Troy now, who has had his ear in the medical tent down here at Bert Henham Park. Troy, what can you tell us?
It seems like it is a pulled tendon in one of the fingers, and it's causing a wee bit of aggravation for him. The trainer sort of suggested, maybe the best thing is to go to A&E, and he was asked how he felt about that, and he said he didn't feel good about that, so he's icing it, and I'd say any son of Clayton Friend will probably come back on with a broken arm and still play on.
So there we go, Jethro Friend getting some medical treatment right now. He would be a big loss for the Howick Hornets if he was to be out. Trent Bishop now goes to the line, a little bit of footwork, and then gets dumped backwards. Does well to hold on to the ball in the end. Jones gets a Pretty awful ball out of dummy half from Charlie, but brought it in well. Penalty is the call. Strip there, and I think it's Bailey Porto who has committed the infringement on that occasion. And so the Howick Hornets now another chance to get down this end and run some time with the ball. And they've put plenty of pressure on this Otahuhu side early on. Majority of possession going their way, particularly in good ball situations. So here we go again, strapping up for another trip for the Howick Hornets now as the 5'8", Courtney hands back to Jones. Charlie to Voiti Bell, looking for his second try, driving those legs and gets taken down about 5 short. Courtney, Bishop. Bishop with a little bit of footwork at the line, still standing as well. Eventually taking the ground. Patillo down low. Charlie gets into dummy half, shuffles it to his right to Hortony, who then brings in Olivetti. Porto just about flops in late there. Papa to Wilson. Great legs tackle from Paki. Last play coming up for the Howick Hornets. Papa kicks in behind. Now watch it dead. Good work from the Otahuhu Leopards. Patient in defence that time. And they hold on, and it will be a tap on the 20 and back into it for the Otahuhu Leopards. Well, Troy, early signs, this Howick Hornets team keen to throw plenty at them, particularly through the middle of the park, which is probably their strength.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think too is they've added to that. You know, Nick's looking dangerous on the left-hand edge, and they've gone to him a couple of times, and he's got a good offload on him, so see more enterprising football from them as the game wears on.
So Patillo to Paki. Paki goes to the line. Was that high? No, play on us the call. It was Gillett who may have slipped up a little there as Toto Purcell goes in, and there's a brave tackle down low from Bishop. Patillo to Paki. Numbers on the right now. Whakatau Mafia will go to the line, gets the offload away as well. Fend away from 1 or 2 there. It's Nuka Nuka. Whakatau Mafia now to Paki, who will go high. Morris goes up for it. Lost forward is the call, and that's off Otahuhu. So we'll go back and start again.
That's enough, mate. That's enough. Yeah. That's enough. Play the ball.
And getting to some quick play of the balls, aren't they, the Otahuhu Leopards? And off the back of it, Leonard Patillo has been able to run, Troy. Really good forward battle we got on the offering here today.
Yeah, they're really well disciplined team, even though the scoreboard may be against them at the moment. They just need some more time on the ball and have a wee bit of patience and get a few more completions in, like the head coach spoke about at the build-up.
Hold. Troy, take one! The right side, one more step. Okay. Troy, take one! Troy, take one!
And that's not Troy running out of here taking one, folks, believe you me.
Troy, come!
Charlie takes him up over halfway. Papa. Kicks, chase is good from Albrecht. A little bit of pressure on here for the Leopards. If it stays in, it won't. But not a bad finish to the set there as well. Albrecht's clutching at that wrist there, so not sure if he has picked up a knock as well. So potentially some early injury troubles for the Howick Hornets, who have had to look to their interchange probably a little earlier than expected. Looks like Brandon Lee may be preparing for his boarding pass as well.
Okay, so binds up again, Trent. 18. Over there, mate. Okay, forward. Trent, get in. Out. Good. Warning number 1. Okay. Hands in. 18, get up. Right.
Bishop coming in to slow that play the ball down now. Patillo comes back in field to Mikaeli. Played on the wing last year. He's moved into the centres this year, scoring plenty of tries as well. Jump out of dummy half for Paki, who's then met by Bishop, but they get the offload away. And Trent says, I'll take another tackle. Porto lining up, looking for a small body. There's none there, I can assure you.
Oh, I didn't like it.
Little lash out in the play of the ball there, but it's all good. Koya now goes to the line, breaks out of 1, breaks out of 2. He's driving the legs, gets the offload away as well. And Tumalora is taken down. Last play now. Paki, numbers here. They kick in behind. The chase is good. Olivetti's going to have to play at that one and ends up halfway up the hill here at Bert Henham Park. But a good set that time from the Otahuhu Leopards, who are really starting to find their way into this match now. And again, it comes off those forwards. They're rolling down the field with ease right now, Troy.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's just having a look as they get ready to reset here. And I'm just wondering if that other player there, just gone off screen, sorry mate, was also clutching at something. So there's a couple of early injuries on both camps. But they get ready for the reset here. Big deep kick. Not a bad drop out from the line. And here come the Otahuhu Leopards.
Pulipaki off the field in back play for the Hornets, which means Brandon Lee is on. Motumoave onto the park as well for Otahuhu. This is Mikaeli.
Here we are, mate. Hold here, wait, don't go early. Hold on. Go, 2.
Motumoave goes to Rahiri, to Paki. Paki to Whakataumafi. The whole spine's getting involved in this play. Nuka it is, who is eventually wrestled to ground. They're about 15 metres out from the line here at Otahuhu. Paki will go to the line.
Up now! Just here, mate, and hold, wait. Go, 4.
Motumoave to Porto. Porto gets the fend out. There's plenty of blue and yellow jerseys there, and they do enough to hold him down. Motumoave shuffles to his left. Rahiri to Toto Purcell. It's forward.
Ooh.
Called back for the forward pass. It was a very clear call from the match officials, and it breaks down once again for the Otahuhu Leopards. You can see the frustration on the face of Toto Purcell that time, and the Howick Hornets live to fight another day. 23 minutes gone. It is the Hornets who lead 8 points to 0 here in round 7 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership qualifiers.
Don't milk it. Hold.
Yeah, they're slowing the tackle down. They probably needed to do that, Otahuhu. Just, you know, as you were saying earlier, Howick really fast around the ruck, and here they come again.
This little offload that time, and on the back of it is Hotani. Jones finds himself the unlikely dummy half. Gets out of 1, offloads off the ground, and now they're going to look to move this football. Here's Nick Wilson. He will straighten up with that little change of direction. He had his halfback hanging on his shoulder that time. The offload doesn't get away. Bishop, flat that pass out of dummy half, and Bishop runs it straight at Toto Purcell, almost sought him out that time, looking for him in the line. Charlie, they go high now. A tester for Whakataumafi, it's dropped. Albrecht picks it up, but we're going to go back for a penalty. Tackled in the air is the call. Poor old Jesse Albrecht, he's had a couple of almost certain tries. You would think there was the one in the corner, Troy, where Otahuhu got there and bundled him out that time. Gets the ball down over the line, and it's called back for a penalty. He's having no luck on the try-scoring count so far, as the Leopards now come out and will kick this one into touch. And they do so. That one will go out about 40 metres off the line, 30 metres off the line, and they'll get back into it.
Oh, big hit.
Led by Nick Wilson that time, who does have it in his game, a noted defender. Motumoave finds Porto. Bailey Porto hits the line hard. In fact, it was Tana Leafy that time. And Whakataumafi just drops it from dummy half. And once again, they let the Howick Hornets off far too easily here. They need to find some patience and start to build some pressure here. Instead, scrum will pack down. And it will be the Hornets starting this one about 10 metres inside their own half.
I'll give you the best count I can on the stats, mate, outside of fixing generators and turning lights back on, Corey. As he looked at my little stat sheet. Here we go.
So Royden Gillett with the first carry.
Hang on, buddy.
Former NRL rookie contestant. Spent some time at Mount Albert, but back at the Hornets now. Bishop.
Come here, boys. All the way in the hole. Hold. Go, 3. Yep. That's all.
Hotini to Voiti Bao. They're 30 out from the line now. The Howick Hornets hunting their third try of the game. Jones to Papa. Papa to Olivetti, who looks to straighten up. It was on the left for a time there. Last play now. Papa is the dummy half. He's going to jump out now. He's got Wilson on his shoulder. Kicks in behind. It's messy. Whakatau Murphy does well to get there and cleans that one up following his earlier area. And now the Leopards want to get things going with some quick play of the balls now. Looking to generate some momentum. 8-0 down with 28 minutes gone in this match. Total Purcell looks up and sees Scott Jones, who promptly takes him to ground. They're 30 out from the line now. Yardage not coming so easily this time for the Leopards. Last play coming up now. Need a good kick here. And it's a high one. Olivetti does really well under it and then looks up and sees a little bit of open space, which he is now exploiting to full effect. Ball comes loose. Lock backwards, cool.
Stand up. Go, 2.
Bishop, hard and straight.
Off the ball, 15. Hey, boys. Hang on, mate. Go, 3.
Fresh man on the park, Brandon Lee, former Pakuranga Rugby. Jones swings it out the back to Hotini, who will kick over the top and chase his own kick. Look out, Carlos Hotini. Beautiful play. And it's going to finish in a try to Jonathan, but put it down to the magic of Carlos Hotini. Looked up, saw a little gap, and then from there, the chip and chase was on.
The SAS Fox replay as we see the ball coming up from the ruck, and I think, be fair to say, by the time the ball got into his hands, he already knew what this play was going to be. A nice little dink over the top. He was playing for that himself. All over it. Look at the space there. Got the magic bounce. Nice little step. Inside runner support. Game over.
Good awareness as well to look to his inside there and find Tau looming in support. And the Howick Hornets go in for another one. And it should be 14-0 in just a moment's time with Papa to attempt this conversion from right in front. Right on the half-hour mark.
Let's hope you haven't given him the kiss of death on the old commentary curse.
Oh, I'm backing him in on this one. He's struck the first couple nicely, and flags are up, and it is the Howick Hornets 14 points to 0 over the Otahuhu Leopards, who have shown some promising signs in this game, but just not able right now to generate any meaningful momentum. Troy, what are you seeing so far from the Leopards, and as to why perhaps they're just struggling to get into this contest?
Completions of sets, what the assistant coach spoke about, and where they're getting the ball is probably deep inside their half. So the pressure's been being mounted by Howick Hornets, and they're finishing off their sets, at the right end of the field. They've had a couple of opportunities, they've gone close, but just haven't been able to get it across the line. So I think, still in it, and they just need to, get a couple of sets back to back and build on the pressure. So they're by no means out of this in any way, shape or form.
So Albrecht receives and hands off to Brandon Lee for the first carry after points. Now Nick Wilson's lining up for one, clapping their hands. Nick's excited, and why not? The Hornets on fire right now as they shoot for 5 wins in a row. Jonathan runs this one at Timaloa.
Big contact there, drew 3 defenders as well.
Charlie to Jones. Jones takes them up over the 40. It's another good carry. He's been brilliant early on, has Scott Jones. Really showing that class in the middle of the park. Jonathan now Lines up for another one, and look at the yardage they're making here, the Hornets. Last play coming up. Charlie is the dummy half. He will swing it out the back to Hortony, who this time goes high and will test out Whakatalmafi at the back, who is cool as a cucumber and takes that one 11 metres out from the line. And Otahuhu now with their chance to try and finish this half on a high. As Troy mentioned, they're a long way from out of this match, but do need to find a way to, I guess, get a little more meaningful possession. Otherwise, the Howick Hornets are going to continue to pile on these points. Nono Nut onto the park. Total per Sal. Was that forward? It certainly looked it. Play on is the call. Right on halfway now. They swing it out the back, and Pucky will kick. Albrecht, it's uncontested, and he picks it up. And we'll take this one back now. Pucky does well to tackle down low. And then they overdo it and give away the penalty as well. Now, discipline, Troy, something that we probably haven't touched on so far, but a little bit of a concern for the Otahuhu Leopards, particularly ones like that where there's really no need to concede it. They're having a hard enough time as it is in the middle of the park, and this will not help as they prepare to kick for touch off the boot of Jordan Papa.
Yeah, just a little bit of frustration, I guess, creeping in there. You know, Otahuhu Leopards have been down into the Howick Hornets try line area probably 3 times during this match, and Howick just being ruthless in their completions of sets and then finishing off with excellent kicks, you know, and putting them down into either the right corner or the left corner and keeping them there.
Wilson plays at the line and goes to Lee. 6.5 to play in this one as Tau gets met by some physical defense, and involved was Halani. Scott Jones goes forward, gets bent in half. He got in an awkward position for a moment there. Glad to see him get back up to the feet. Hotini, hot stepping, looking for a way through. They're 15 out from the line now, the Hornets. Olivetti is the dummy half. He was swinging out to Papa. Papa will go high and across the face, and Albrecht's going to go up for this one, and it will go out. A knock-on is the call off Albrecht, and the Otahuhu Leopards now will get this ball 10 metres out from the line. Once again, that time, the Hornets throwing plenty at them. And Reece Charlie it is who has assumed the dummy half services, doing a good job filling in there right now.
Otahuhu again coming from deep inside their 20, having to grind it out with so far to travel. And looks like inside the 10, so they get a penalty here. Let's hope they can build on that.
Back off. Nah, everyone was off. They had to go that way. Here we are, mate. Always comes where I am.
So Pucky kicks for touch up over the live stream unit here, and they'll start this one smack bam on halfway. Holani, great carry to start the set. 5 to play in this half. Otahuhu in need of some points, or at the very least a little bit of possession down this end of the field. Poor pass out of dummy half. What's the call? Play on is the call. A little bit of discussion between the refs that time. They come out to the left edge now. This is Leafy. Another penalty. Second effort is the call. They're going to tap and go here, I think. Patillo having a chat, and hands straight off to the big man Leafy again for his second carry in the space of 30 seconds. Patillo to Koya. Koya breaks out on one and then gets put backwards. Patillo. Pucky to the line. Whakatalmafi, quick hands. Had them for numbers at one stage there, but Howick scramble well. They're 5 out from the line here, the Leopards. Patillo, it's messy. Pucky, they will centralise now via Tanakoya. Third penalty, that one for a flop. And now we'll have time off and a talking to.
As Chris has the chat, that was a big body contact hit, that one. So, third opportunity for Otahuhu Leopards in the right part of the park. And they'll be desperate to get a try on the board before half-time.
So the chat there from Chris McMillan. Penalties down this end of the field. Into dangerous territory there where you have to start thinking about the sin bin. So the Hornets told to clean up their act. Now there's cramp in the background, but we're going to play on through that. So less than 4 to play. It's the Hornets who lead by 14. Patillo will tap and it will go to Leafy, who will go hard and straight to start this one. Ends up right next to the SAS upright. Quick play of the ball. Patillo to Rahiri. And Uate gets driven backwards. That's great defence from the Howick Hornets.
Don't go early, 18. Hold. Go 2.
Rahiri to Paki. Paki dummies. Brings in Whakatau Mafi, who goes to the line. And that play just broke down there.
Come here, boys. Hold. Go 0.
It was messy. And it never really had the rhythm to it there for the Leopards. Now as Royden Gillett picks up a few cheap metres by running across field. Hotini is the dummy half. They're going to attack this right side now. This is Fuimono. Now Vawiti Bao. Try scorer earlier in the half. Quick play of the ball. Hotini gets it and puts on the little goose step. Steals at least 10 metres there, and Vawiti Bao is going to do the same here now. They're struggling, Otahuhu. Trying to keep up with the pace of this match now as Jones swings out the back to Papa. They're going to play on here. It's a loose ball down on the ground. Albrecht gets it, kicks him behind. And there to clean up at the back is Mateo Timaloa. But boy, they were lucky to hold on that time, the Otahuhu Leopards, Troy. You just got the feeling from looking at that. They're really struggling to get back the 10, and as a result, Howick were chewing them up at dummy half.
Constant pressure, and if he had got more boot on that ball, it probably would have been a lot more dangerous. And just as we say that, we see the ball pop.
Howick feed is the call, and halftime cannot come soon enough for Otahuhu right now, who at this stage will probably be fortunate to get in at 14-0 down.
And to be fair, you know, they had one try turned away, so it could have quite easily been 3, you know, tries on the scoreboard. Fantastic try save, though. There was great D down there earlier on in the first half. Slow to pack, chewing a bit of time.
Go down, guys. Go down. Spin line, fella. Spin line. Come on. Ball in. Out. Yep, that's good.
So Charlie gets us back underway. It goes out to the right edge where Olivetti already has one try. This time he steps his way through. Tane Koya involved in the tackle.
Nice, stand up. Just here, guys. Hold. Go through.
Jones to Tau. Hotini. Nick Wilson looking to get the offload away. Gets it. Royden Gillett into a little bit of space. Now they come back in field. And Jesse Albrecht is not good. He's clutched straight at that arm, and he is carrying an injury here. They'd be wise to go to the other side, perhaps. No, they won't. Papa instead will go and go very close as well. Gillett is the dummy half. Watch for the dart. Instead, he's going to play back to the middle. Brandon Lee sizes it up and takes a settler. Inside the final minute here. Papa to Albrecht, who's playing on one arm. It might not matter. Flicks the ball back in, but called into touch in the lead up to that one. And that should just about get us to half-time.
I was right there, fellas. Right in line.
So no one in a real hurry to pack this one down. Our clock will be just a little out, probably on the official timer, and in fact it's bang on, and that will do it. So half-time, it is the Howick Hornets 14, Otahuhu Leopards 0, round 7 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership qualifiers, and a first half which has been dominated by the Howick Hornets, but the Otahuhu Leopards, they'll come into the second spell still well and truly in the match.
Yeah, and just at the siren there, looks like a bit of claret coming from Nick Evans, so there'll be a wee bit of attention around might be a bit of a head wound. So the teams break into their halftime chats, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a 10-minute break. Don't go too far away as we catch up now of the ARL TV news from this week.
Welcome to this week's edition of ARL TV News. Let's take a look at what's happening around the grounds. Well, rep coaches were named. We've got Primary School Rugby League and our live stream action. Rep coaches, congratulations to all the head coaches that were named for every Auckland representative team this year. The appointments come from 10 clubs around the region and include the North and South teams of our Region of Origin series. Full list and story on our website at aucklandleague.co.nz. Primary School Rugby League. All dates and venues have been confirmed for Primary School Rugby League, which kicks off tomorrow. If you're keen to register a team, head to our website at aucklandleague.co.nz. Live stream action. Catch us live this Saturday at Burthenham Park and watch Otahuhu take on Howick. Live from 2:30pm, tune in live at aucklandleague.co.nz. Now, over the weekend, it was Mother's Day. Thank you on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League to all our mothers for everything that you do for our game. Now let's take a look at the highlights from Glenora and Bayrosco over the weekend.
To win stuff as the ball still spot out loose. A team that is very eager to make amends this year. They're off to a good start this season. Vasu Valangi reaches out, gets there. Ropati goes high off the boot. A tester at the back for Rangi. Takes it comfortably. And looks up and sees a little gap now. Rangi accelerates through, beats the first one, and now it's a foot race. Cover coming across, hands it off to Tomata. Tomata streaking away down the left-hand side, and Glenora are going to go in for their second. Yes, he has. Tippins to Brown. Brown will go over. Too easy for Chaz Brown. Attacking opportunity of the half. The Bayrosco Vikings. Ropati, double pump, puts Vogel into the gap. Beautiful play. Jerome Ropati puts it on a dime for his fullback. It's the tackle. Swape Kavaliku picks it up. He's got numbers on the right edge. Oh, the cutout from Kavaliku. It's a thing of beauty from the big man, and he puts his winger away. They arrive late to prevent him. Now Kavaliku, well, he was provider a minute ago, and now he's going to score himself. Swape Kavaliku. Back through the middle to Bernard. Bernard gets rid of one, gets the off-foot away to Rangi. A looping ball over the top. They're going to be in again here, Glenora. James Tomata in the far left corner to Rangi. Rangi will kick, dribbles the kick in behind Messi. It's knocked on. Now loose ball for Rangi, who will scoop it up and score a try. Ropati, back in field to Vogel. Vogel shakes out a one, Vogel shakes out a two.
Beautiful to watch.
Corey Vogel. Panielu, and that will wrap up the action here. The Glenora Bears win this one 34-12. Okay, we're now joined by Leela from the Bayrosco Vikings. Well, Leela, a tough day at the office, mate. Just didn't win that middle battle in the first half.
Yeah, you could say that. We had a plan put into play, and I guess we just didn't execute that today. And credit to Glenora and their big forward pack. They got us the win over us.
Okay, now joined by victorious captain Phil Kingy. Well, Phil, a real arm wrestle in that first half, but managed to build a nice little lead. At what point did you feel like the game was won?
I suppose not till the end. We knew that they were going to throw a lot at us. They got an interesting way of playing for us. We wanted to fix a few of our defensive issues from last week, so that was the main thing. You never know when the game's won. Half time came out and they scored straight away, so you never have the game won.
How much of a distraction was the changing fields, the player injured? It's never easy to overcome. How much of a distraction did you find that?
Oh, look, you have to deal with those situations when they come. I suppose the main thing is that he's safe and he's okay. So hopefully he gets better really soon, so we wish him all the best. But yeah, it has an impact, but not a huge impact.
Another victory for you guys. How do you assess how you're travelling heading into the second part of the qualifiers?
For us, we have quite a few people injured at the moment, so we're just having a good time getting some young blood into the team as well. So having a few boys back today was good to stiffen up a few areas of our game. We're just looking to build and stay in that top four for the next round.
And also a lot of love to the Glenora Bears today. It's Mother's Day here in New Zealand tomorrow, and all the mums have turned up for the Bears. So it's like Teddy Bear's picnic.
Now welcome back, let's take a look at the Premiership ladders. Now to the Crown Lift Trucks Fox Championship. The Te Atatū Roosters are at the top of the table, followed by the Ellerslie Eagles on 13 competition points. And at the other end, the Ponsonby Ponies and Papatoetoe Panthers begin without a win. Now to the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership ladder. Northcote are at the top and remain undefeated in the competition, followed by the Mount Albert Lions. And at the other end, Papakura and Manurewa host the bottom of the table. I'm Savannah Tafau-Levick. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you around.
Jethro Friend from the Howick Hornets. Catch all the action on aucklandleague.co.nz.
I'm Connor Purcell. Catch all the action live on aucklandleague.co.nz.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. About to resume the second half action here at Bert Henham Park